Welcome to another Genshin Impact character showcase. In today's showcase, we are gonna take a look at the newest 5-star character Varesa and see what she can do. Varesa is a plunging attack focused character, only the third one I think, after Xiao and Gaming. And I've never played Xiao, but Gaming is a lot of fun. I play him a lot on this account, which is my free-to-play account. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Varesa can do. And I already used her a lot during exploration of the new map area to collect her ascension materials. And I gotta say, in terms of exploration, she's already one of the most fun characters I've ever played. Just running around with her skill like that is so fun, and she can run almost indefinitely because of her several skill charges, and of course in Natlan there's also the phlogiston she can use. But yeah, if you use her skill at the right time, then even outside of Natlan she can run for quite a long distance, which is really cool. I went from all the way over here to here before I ran out of phlogiston and skill charges. It's insane. I love it. So yeah, in terms of exploration, Varesa is already a top tier character, but of course in this showcase I want to find out if she's also really good in terms of damage. Who's talking to me? Oh, these guys. Hi. Let's go over here. Anyway, let's first go over my Varesa build. For now she's just level 80 because I'm also trying to build Yansan and Xianyun and I don't have enough resources to get all three of them to level 90, so I decided to just get them to level 80 for now. Her attack is 1600, a bit on the lower side, but it's gonna be a bit higher after I get to level 90. And she also has a bunch of elemental mastery, because for some reason my Varesa artifacts, they just all rolled into EM. But you know, it's at least better than like defense or HP, because since she's an electro DPS, you can play her in an aggravate team where elemental mastery is not completely useless. Her crit ratio is 40 to 213. 40 of course is a bit low, but I'm using the Obsidian Codex set, which gives her another 40 crit rate, so this is actually 80. She also has 133 energy recharge and of course some electro damage bonus. The weapon I'm using on her is the Blackcliff Agate, though I would probably actually recommend the Widsith instead if you have it, because that's just generally the best 4-star DPS catalyst. I'm just using the Blackcliff for now because it's a bit more consistent than the Widsith, so it's better for a showcase like this. Because with the Widsith, it's kind of random which buff you get, and then also it has a very long cooldown, so the damage numbers would be fluctuating a lot. But you know, outside of a showcase where consistency is key, I would definitely recommend the Widsith over the Blackcliff Agate. Artifacts, like I already said, 4-piece Obsidian Codex is just a generally good set for any Natlan character. Of course there's also the new Plunge set that is very good on her, but Obsidian Codex is not far behind, and most people of course already have decent Obsidian Codex pieces, whereas the new set is, well, new, so you'd have to farm a 4-piece set from scratch. And I'm probably not gonna do that because the Obsidian Codex and Syndicity domain is just a lot more resin efficient. So I'm just gonna keep Obsidian Codex on her. Like I said, it's not much of a difference. As far as you know, it's like 2 or 3%. So you're not gonna get that much more damage out of the new set, especially if you have worse substats there. Now I of course focused on crit, and like I already said, these artifacts rolled a bit too much into elemental mastery. But yeah, better than defense. I was hoping for a bit more attack percentage, but couldn't get many rolls into that. At least I got some energy recharge here. And of course I'm using an attack sense, which is honestly a very sad artifact because of all the flat defense it has and not a single crit damage roll, but I really couldn't get a better attack sense, sadly. I tried, but artifact luck was not on my side. This is unironically the best one I have. But at least I got an onset electro damage goblet, which also rolled a bit too much into elemental mastery, but at least no flat defense here. And then of course a crit damage circlet. Constellation is 0 and the talents are at level 8, 7 and 8. I prioritized her normal attacks and her burst because of course her plunging attacks are included in this normal attack talent, and that's where a lot of her damage comes from. But then she also has like a special burst that she can use once in a while, this Fiery Passion Flying Kick, which scales here with the burst. The skill on the other hand doesn't have anything important in terms of damage. This Fiery Passion rush damage is only a small part of Varesa's total damage, so this is definitely the least important talent. So that's my Varesa build, so now let's go and see how much damage she actually does. And as always, we are gonna start with a solo showcase where I only use the new character and no supports to see what she can do on her own. And basically what you do with Varesa is use her skill, and then you can use one charge attack for free without using stamina and just by tapping normal attack, which then catapults her into the air, and then you press normal attack again for a plunging attack. So skill, normal attack basically is the combo. So this, and then this. Pretty simple, and you can do this 2 times in quick succession because of her 2 skill charges, and then after the second time she should enter the Fiery Passion state where you can then use her special mini burst. So yeah, let's do one full combo here. 1 plunging attack, 2 plunging attacks, and the burst, which did 26k, and I think one of the plunging attacks I saw there did 27k. So yeah, pretty decent damage just on her own. Now one thing to note if you're using Obsidian Codex is that after the first plunging attack, she doesn't get the 40% crit rate yet, as you can see here. That is because those plunging attacks give her Nitro points, but they don't take Nitro points away. And Obsidian Codex is only activated after Nitro points are used up, which only happens on the second plunging attack. Which means that for the first plunging attack, Obsidian Codex is not active. But there is a way around that, a simple tag where you just use her hold skill first, instead of her tap skill, to enter her sprint, this one, which does use up Nitro points. And if you do that quickly, just quickly hold E and then immediately press normal attack, then that should activate Obsidian Codex. So let's try it. We are at 40% right now, so if I hold skill and then do the plunge, I should have 80%. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you want to have the 40% from the Obsidian Codex on the first plunging attack, then you have to use her hold skill actually, instead of tap skill. You gotta be careful though when you do this tag that you don't just sprint through your enemy and then you are on the other side of the arena, where obviously your plunging attack is not gonna hit them anymore. That can happen. That's like the only difficulty about this tag. So you have to like use plunge immediately. Like I did it wrong there, it still hit him because of the big AoE of her plunge. And I did get the 40% crit rate, but yeah, it's not the easiest tech ever, but also not that difficult. But most of the time using tap skill is completely fine. If you don't absolutely need the damage, you know, outside of Abyss, you're gonna get away with just tap skill. It's just one plunging attack that's missing the extra crit rate, and then the rest is gonna have it. But I still wanted to show this tag. Okay, let's do one more full rotation to take a proper look at her damage. Oh, that didn't crit. 27k there though. Mini burst 26k, 15k, 24, mini burst 22. So it's fluctuating a bit, but we are consistently getting over 20k on the mini burst and some of the plunging attacks. Yeah, 27k there. And thanks to multiple charges, and she also gets another charge in the Fiery Passion state, you can actually do quite a few plunging attacks in a very short amount of time, which is nice. And yeah, the damage also pretty good, considering once again that we don't have any supports here. And he's gone. Okay, yeah, so far so good. But now that we've seen what Varesa can do on her own, let's actually put her in a full team. And the first thing I want to try is an overload team with Chefrus, and I'm using Fischl and Lumine here, but the best overload team would probably be Chefrus, Bennett, Jansan and Varesa. But I want to see what she can do with just Chefrus without any additional supports. And also my Jansan isn't built yet, that's the next project after Varesa. But I'm definitely gonna try Varesa and Jansan together in the upcoming Jansan showcase, so stay tuned for that. For now, let's just see what this team can do. Oh, and also, I should probably mention that even though I did get C6 Chefrus on yesterday's wishing session, I haven't activated the constellations yet, so she's still C1, because, you know, I kind of want to compare what low constellation Chefrus does for Varesa compared to a C6 Chefrus, because a lot of people probably don't have C6. So for this showcase, I'm going to use C1 Chefrus first and then later on activate the constellations. And if you want to know more about how good C6 Chefrus actually is, then I recommend checking out my Chefrus showcase that I made a few weeks ago on my main account, where she already is C6. Because honestly, C6 Chefrus is one of the best supports in the game. If she weren't restricted to overload teams, then she would honestly rival Bennett, in my opinion. Or maybe even outclass him, because she's not restricted to circle impact. But yeah, let's do this now. So, first we need to cause some overload. And then we use Jeffus' hold skill. And just unleash Varesa. Let's see. Oh, that was 48k if I saw that correctly there. And the mini burst, 39k. Okay. That was a bit less than I expected. Let's try this again. There we go, 43k. Not bad. And he's already dead. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good. Killed Mercenary very fast there. Like constant 30, 40k plunges every few seconds. Very good damage, needless to say. And that is with just Jeffus and no other supports. No Bennett, no Janssen. So this isn't even close to her full potential, and she's already doing great damage. So let's take this one step further and finally activate Jeffus' constellations. There we go, she's C6 now. Let's see how that influences the damage. Oh, got hit there. 59k. Awesome. Okay, that's the wrong burst. 28k without crit. So that means like at least 60k with crit. Let's do this again. 50k again. Come on, give me the mini burst. Ah, it didn't crit. 29. Yeah. Okay. Mini burst didn't crit. So let's go back in straight away and try this again. But already over 50k on the normal plungers. That's really damn good. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was 61k there, I think, on the mini burst. Yeah, 60k again. And he's dead. Oh my god, that was so fast. Did you see that? I didn't even realize we were already on the second HP bar, and then he was already dead. Wow, okay. So yeah, Varesa is definitely an incredible DPS, even with just one support character basically. And yeah, definitely works very well in an Overload team. But of course, Overload is not the only reaction that could work with her, since she is an Electro DPS. Aggravate is also an option, and since I got so much EM on my Varesa, I really want to try Aggravate, so let's do that. And this is the team I'm gonna be using for the Aggravate Showcase, Nahida for the Dendro application, and I also put Lanyan in here for some shielding, which is gonna be useful for Varesa, I think. And of course, you can also swirl. So with swirl and aggravate, we should reach pretty high damage numbers. Okay, let's see what happens if I just use Nahida first. No swirls yet. Okay, I think that was 30k there, 19k. Ah, he's blocking. Okay, 26, I don't think that was aggravate. 17k, 31k. Ah, 10k on the mini burst, it didn't crit. And he waited. Stop being annoying, Masanori. And he's dead. Yeah, that was still a pretty fast kill, but I got pretty unlucky there, so let's just heal up Varesa and then go back in straight away. You know what? They should have made it so that Varesa can actually eat more than other characters, but her satiation gauge, or whatever you wanna call it, fills up at the same speed as for every other character. But you know, in her story quest, she eats literal mountains of food. Would have been funny if she had a passive that actually reflected that. But yeah, let's do this again now. 19k. 31. 31 again. Okay, yeah, so over 30k if we get a good Aggravate crit, which is not bad, especially considering we haven't used Lanyan yet, we haven't swirled anything yet. So let's use Fischl here and try to swirl the Electro. $31 again, so yeah, I didn't swirl there. I don't think that's swirled. Okay, getting swirls and Aggravate, there was a swirl. Together is harder than I thought. 25k? 40k? Oh, that's the wrong burst. Well, 47k, pretty good damage still. Even though that wasn't the burst that I wanted to use. And he's already dead. Before I could get a proper second rotation going. Masanori, you're too frail sometimes. Maybe I should go to one of the newer bosses in Natlan. I'm gonna try one more time here. Maybe I should apply Electro first, Swirl, and then apply Nahida's skill for the Aggravate. Of course he evades. There's so many damage numbers, I couldn't really see what was Varesa and what was Fischl. I mean, the higher numbers are Varesa probably, but yeah. Okay, then we got a 31k again because it didn't swirl. So yeah, it's pretty consistent 31k without the swirls. Okay, got some swirls. But Nahida's skill is gone, damn it. And the battle is over. Yeah, now I really need to go to a less frail boss. So let's go over to Natlan, to the big chonky Yumkasaurus Kongamato. This guy's pretty tanky and really easy to hit, so yeah, just pretty good for showcases. And I think I'm actually not gonna summon Oz this time, but instead just apply Electro with a charge attack, so that we don't have this many damage numbers. Swirl it, and I hate it when that happens in Natlan. Sometimes when you switch to Natlan characters, they automatically use their skill, and in Varesa's case, it makes it so that she just jumps like 50 meters away from the enemy. It's so annoying. I hate the switching mechanics in Natlan, to be honest. Like, not just for Varesa, but there have been other characters before where the switching mechanics just get in the way of the rotation instead of actually being helpful. Let's just try it again. Okay, 24k there. It's the wrong burst again. 39k? I think I saw 39k. Not bad, not bad. Again. Swirl. By Nahida's skill. And mini burst does 39k. Yeah, I think I saw 39k several times there. So with Swirl and Aggravate we are almost breaching 40k, but it's not quite enough to get there. Now one way we could get some more damage is of course Nahida's burst, which gives some more elemental mastery. So let's see if we can reach over 40k plunges with Nahida's burst. And I immediately get hit because I was too busy talking. Stupid Kongamato, stop it. Anyway, let's do this now. Swirl, do this, do this, do this. Didn't see it. There's some 41, yeah, there we go. Even though I screwed up the rotation and forgot to use the mini burst, but oh well. We still got to see one 41k plunge attack, so, you know, let's do this again, but properly this time. Well. Oh, we don't have Nahida's burst, damn it. Well, guess we're just doing a normal rotation. Yeah, 39k again there. But now we have the burst. Let's do this. Well, got hit just several times, but it should still be fine. And 40k, yeah. So 41k seems to be the max we can get with this team. Of course, if I used the swirler like Kazuo, I could probably get more, and, you know, Jansan instead of Fischl would also help. So once again, this is not the full potential, but even so, it's pretty decent. So yeah, overall not bad, though aggravating her plunge attacks and mini bursts is actually a little bit less consistent than, you know, just spamming them without worrying about reactions like you can do in Overload. So I definitely still prefer Overload, I think it's more fun. And as you could see in the showcase, even a low constellation Jeffrus alone did as much for Varesa's damage as Lanyan and Nahida did together here. So that once again tells you a lot about how insane Jeffrus is. And I definitely stand by my statement that she would be maybe even better than Bennett if she weren't restricted to just supporting Pyro and Electro. But this is of course not a Jeffrus showcase, it's a Varesa showcase, and I am definitely very happy with her damage, especially considering she's only level 80 and her talents aren't maxed yet, so there's still room for improvement and she's already doing great damage. And on top of that, she's hella cute. And not to mention, really fun for exploration. I mean, I already showed it at the beginning of the video, but it's just so good, just running around like that. She's so fast and she can cover so much ground. I just love it. Even outside of Natlan, she's great for exploration because of her skill charges. She has 2 of them, so just use the second charge, can make a run again, Then again, look how far she goes. All the way over here from the gate. The city gate of Mondstadt. To almost the Temple of the Falcon. That is so good. Really can't be overstated how great of an exploration character she is. But yeah, that concludes my Varesa showcase. She's a great character and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe for more Genshin Impact and other gacha content. Janssen showcase coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, have a nice day.